Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ella Selviani with name 21030500009. I made this video for fulfill socio-linguistic UAS assignments under the guidance of your mother goddess. In this video, I will discussing the Israel and Palestine conflict. Amidst the complexity and tension, this video aims to provide in-depth insight into the background, impact, and peace efforts related to this conflict. Before discussing further, we will explore the history that shaped current condition, looking at the human implication of that heartbreaking and penetrating individual voices amidst this conflict. By digging deeper, I hope we can provide a richer understanding and voice its importance, peace, and international supports that start this discussion to understand the issue that impacts many lives and to encourage dialogue and understanding better among us all. Alright, the first brief historical background of the Israel and Palestine conflict. The Israel-Palestinian conflict has complex and long historical roots. Fundamentally, the conflict stems from historical, religious, and nationalist claims on the territories of Israel and Palestine. In the 19th century, with the rise of European nationalism, a movement of Jewish nationalism, Zionism, emerged, aiming to establish a Jewish state in the land of Israel. Aimed to establish a Jewish state in the land of ancient Israel. In the early 28th century, Jewish settlement in Palestine. Jewish settlement in Palestine increased, sparking tension with the local Arab population who felt threatened. After World War One, the League of Nations granted a British mandate over Palestine. Amid growing ethnic and religious conflict, the British were unable to ease tensions between the Jewish and Arab communities. Jewish and Arab communities after World War II and the Holocaust, international support for the establishment of a Jewish state increased. The establishment of a Jewish state increased in 1947. The UN proposed the division of Palestine into two states, one for Jews and one for Arabs. But this proposal was rejected by the Arabs. In 1948, Israel declared its independence, leading to an invasion by neighboring Arab states. Since then, territories and borders have been constant source of conflict. A constant source of conflict. Arab Israel wars have occurred periodically with territories such as the West Bank and Gaza Strip being fought over. The issues of Israel settlements in areas recognized as belonging to Palestine has been one of the main points of conflict despite peace efforts. A settlement acceptable to both sides has not been reached. Six, Camp David Accords, 1978. EGYVT and Israel signed and EGYVT and Israel signed an agreement recognizing Israel's sovereignty in the Sinai Peninsula as part of a peace effort. 7. First Intifada 1987 and until 1993. Palestinian uprising against Israel occupation in the West Bank and Gaza Strip demanding independence. West Bank and Gaza Strip and demanding independence and political rights. 8. Oslo Accords 1993 1993, an agreement between Israel and the Palestinian Authority aimed at create Palestinian autonomy in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Although it resulted in some establishment of autonomy, this agreement did not achieve an overall settlement. 9. Second Intifada 200 until 205, and even more violent conflict between Israel and Palestinians triggered by a number of factors including the failure of the Camp David negotiation and provocation at the Temple of Solomon. 10. Israel withdrawal from Gaza 205. Israel withdrew from the Gaza Strip, leaving the territory under Palestinian autonomous control. Under Palestinian autonomous control, although expected to reduce tensions, the conflict continued. These are just some of the key events. While the conflict continues with many many com- complex developments and tensions, developments as well as complex tension. Next, current condition. The Israel-Palestinian conflict has a serious impact on the Palestinian population. They face difficult living conditions due to infrastructure damage, security instability, and limited access to basic services such as education and healthcare. Basic services such as education and healthcare. In addition, many Palestinians have experienced displacement and homelessness due to the conflict, creating a difficult humanit- humanitarian situation. Next, humanitarian impact. The impact of the conflict on the daily lives on Palestinians. The conflict in Palestine has a serious impact on on the daily lives of its inhabitants. They face challenges such as security instability, limited access to resources, resources, and economic hardship due to restriction on movement and trade. Economic hardship due to restrictions on movement and trade. The conflict also affects psychological and social aspect, creating high levels of stress and an uncertainty and uncertainty in their daily lives. Humanitarian assistance and the role of international organization in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Humanitarian assistance in the Israel-Palestinian conflict is often provided by international organizations such as UNRWA WA or United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees and other humanitarian agencies. These organizations seek to provide medical assistance, food, and shelter to people affected by the conflict. Shelter to citizens affected by the conflict. The role of international organizations also involves mediation and conflict resolution efforts. The UN often attempts to negotiate a peace deal between Israel and Palestine. Although complex political and historical challenges often make this process difficult, complex political and historical challenges often make this process difficult. However, the effectiveness of humanitarian assistance and mediation roles can be influenced by the political dynamics and ongoing regional tensions in the conflict. And then the next, voice of the people. What are the opinions and stories of individual Palestinians regarding the Israel and Palestinian conflict? The opinion of individual Palestinians regarding the Israel Palestinian conflict vary widely, but many feel they have lost their land and rights. Feel they have lost their lands and rights. Many express this dissatisfaction with the occupation, Israel settlements, construction, and the difficult economic situation. Some also highlighted the psychological impact of the conflict, such as traumatization from violence and uncertainty about the future. Uncertainty about the future, however, it is important to keep in mind that these opinions cover a wide spectrum and cannot be considered as an as a homogeneous view of the entire Palestinian society. uh, and then strengthening the humanitarian aspect of the conflict. To strengthen the humanitarian aspect of the Israel-Palestinian conflict, it is important that we focus on peaceful solution, humanitarian aid, and dialogue between the two sides. International efforts can improve access to humanitarian aid, promote peace education, and support economic development initiatives involving communities from both sides. Support economic development initiatives that involve uh, people from both sides. Raising global awareness can also help reduce the impact of conflict on civilians and create an environment that supports peace. Civilians and create an enabling environment for peace and justice. And then the last, global action and support. What is the international solidarity and support movement for Palestine? The international solidarity movement for Palestine involves various groups and countries that condemn human rights violation and support peace efforts in the region. Many non-governmental organizations and individuals around the world are involved in campaigns, demonstration, and uh, advocacy action to highlight the issues faced by the Palestinian people. Several countries and international organizations have also expressed political and humanitarian support for Palestine. To Palestine, this can involve humanitarian aid, political support in international fora, and diplomatic efforts to international forum and diplomatic efforts to reach a sustainable solution. However, international attention and support for Palestine is often divided and complex, involving political factors, history, and regional interests. Efforts to achieve peace and justice in the region continues to be a complex challenge. What is the role of the global community in resolving the conflict? The global community plays an important role in conflict resolution by engaging in advocacy, people's diplomacy, humanitarian aid, fundraising, pressure on leaders, participation in international organizations, campaigns for peace and justice, leaders, participation in international organizations, online campaigns, and awareness of root causes problem. Global collaboration can create an enabling environment for peace and conflict resolution conflict resolution. All right, I think that's all explanation from me. Uh, Hopefully, this discussion will bring a deeper understanding. Let us continue to hope and work for a just peace for all parties to the Israel and Palestinian conflict. Thank you for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.